Ravens versus the Bills, Allen versus Lamar, shaped up to be all you could want. Neither quarterback had a super duper day, but the way they played, the way they carried their teams really showed how much talent these guys are. And the game was a game of games. It was a football lover's day. Bills fans are very happy. They pulled off the win. They were looking ugly at the beginning. They had interceptions and penalties and fumbles and the whole 9 yards, drops, all kinds of drops. But slowly but surely, the Bills regathered, and down 20 to 3, they slowly worked their way back up. Ravens are a darn good team, real good team, but they get stagnant sometimes with that offense. And the secondary's got some holes in it still, still got some issues. And the Bills were just able, with Allen, just really to use that super talent he has to get themselves back in and come down to a literally almost last-second win over the Ravens. And so this is a big game, a big, big, big win for a Bills team that could not really go 2 losses in a row after losing to Miami. And it wasn't looking good. My man, Tommy over his Mafia Sports Report, was getting a little nervous. Tommy was getting a little nervous. We were talking, but now I bet you he's really happy. I haven't talked to him. I'll email him after this. So now the Bills are 3-1, tied with the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have the tiebreaker. Ravens, they got those 2 losses, but, both these teams are going to really be big factors down the road. And you can see how talented they are. I think Harbaugh kind of let me down again as far as a football guy. I really didn't have any major dog in a race, cat in a race, I don't know, whatever. Somebody in a race, animal in a race. And I kind of a little bit like the Bills because of Allen, but I kind of have Lamar in my fantasy football thing. And so I wanted to see him do well, and, well, Lamar didn't. So anyway, but Harbaugh really, that 4th down and going for it, I just didn't like it, and I certainly didn't like the call. But we'll get into that. I'm going to try a new thing today, sort of like what I have been doing, but a enhancement of it. So I'm going to run a trial on you Bills fans. I hope you guys like it so that I can port it over to my Fins fans. They're going to make them happy. So I'm going to try it on you guys first. So hopefully you like it. I'm going to cover the game, do a review, lots of images and footage, and, well, you'll see. Anyway, congratulations on a big win. Before I get into that, though, I want to give a shout-out to you guys for stopping by, for the likes, the subscribes, the views, especially the comments. I love my comments. You guys are what really makes this whole show happen. But with you guys and my sponsors, Ace Per Head, the 2 of you guys together, let's, Curtis, watch football on Sunday and make it work, and that is tremendous. So I want to say thank you. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Allen didn't have, like I said, a super duper day. 19 for 36, 2 touchdowns, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Lamar did not a super duper day either. 20 for 29. 144 yards passing and 1 touchdown and 2 picks. Rushing, though, they were really close, weren't they? Allen, 11 for 70. Singletary had a nice day, 11 for 49, 127 total. 11 rushes for Lamar for 73 yards. Dobbins and Hill aided a lot, and they had a 169 total on the day, so it was 127 to 169. Allen had 11 rushes. Singletary had 11 rushes. This is a game, though, where I don't care about the rushes. You need this win. And so that, to me, it was worth it to invest the chance of being in that lottery for Allen's body, and you needed it. And that's really where I think you should continue to use that aspect. But even at the beginning of the game, you could see the commenter saying that the Bills had, they'd done their little pre-interviews and stuff, said they want to get their run game going. They really want to get a second option to Allen. A lot of the stuff that I've been saying for almost 2 years covering you guys. And so that made me feel nice that, there's the smart guys are saying it to validate me. So it really is very clear. You coming into games like this, having the running back run, having other options opens so much. You got a little bit of it today. Dorsey, I think, had overall a good game, but there were certain spots I was like, I didn't really like. But, it's his fourth game. And it's a process. And you're 3-1, and it's a great place to be in to continue to refine Dorsey's skills. We'll see how it all ultimately pans out at the end of the season for a full review. But I thought this was a good bounce-back game because I really did not like his last game. Still think he can continue to grow. Get into that a little bit later. But overall, everything kind of looked good. Frazier had a very good game. I like he dialed up some blitzes. I thought maybe he should have done that last week against my Finns. Well, I'm glad he didn't. But you know what I mean. This secondary with Poyer back, you can see what the difference was. So there's a lot more that this secondary can heal. This team can heal. The offensive coordinator can grow. And there's a lot of room to grow. But there's certain areas that they're going to have to. Because you could see at times with the Allen or nothing system, it can get a little dicey, especially in bad weather. But overall, excellent game. Now, the game opened up, and it didn't feel so awesome. Allen had his pick, and then on a short field, Lamar had that shuttle pass to make it 7-0. And that didn't really feel good. I mean, I was like, whoa. This is similar to what happened last week with the Dolphins. But you had the nice kick return to get things happening. And, if you notice, again, we saw some spacing issues. I had mentioned it in the Dolphins-Bills game last week. And then again, this week with the receivers, there was those bunched where receivers were seemingly in the wrong spot. They had that. But then Allen had that great pass. Really great pass on third down. It was like 3rd and 7, I think. And then it was a third down stop for McKenzie, who drops the football and still ended up getting that. Well, I don't know if it was a drop. It was a nice play by the defender. And so it's 7-3. Ravens' run game is starting to pick up steam. And I'm getting a little nervous for you guys. Also not happy because Lamar's not passing like a maniac for my fantasy football team. And Jackson had that very, very nice run on 3rd and 9. Another Jackson run. And then the Ravens get the TD run inside, and it's 14-3. And that's when I talked to Tommy, and it was like, I guess, this is not going to, we're in trouble here. And I'm like, no. I didn't say that, but I should have. I'd have looked real smart if I said that. So at that point, it's looking very concerning. And then Singletary gets the run inside. It was a nice run until the fumble. And that really left you guys in a hole. Dobbins had that nice catch, and he brings it down to the 10. And then the Ravens, a TD pass that wasn't. That inside to Andrews where he gets a little push off. That was a big, big, big play. And it's a shame, I mean, not for you guys, obviously, but for the Ravens, he didn't need that push-off. I mean, some people might say it's a little ticky-tacky. I don't think so. I just think it was unnecessary. And if they could have got that touchdown, it could have been a long, long day for the Bills. But they didn't. And so then it was 14-3. Then it went to 17-3. And then Singletary, you come back and you get nice short situation, and he runs the football in the short, and then Bates just gets blown up. And again, Bates is the weakness for me. I still think Quisenberry would be a better option inside. Bates just really struggles. I'm continually seeing him be the weak link in the chain. Tommy tells me that they're training him for the center position after Morse moves on and stuff, but I still think this year's a big year, and I like Quisenberry a little bit better at that guard position. But, it might not end up that way. It's just my take. So then you get the punt, and then it's that 2nd and 19 crazy Lamar play. And then it's a 2nd and 10 sack, and holds the Ravens in a very, very critical drive where you kick the football. They kick the football for a 20-3 rather than going up ahead 24-3, which should have been disaster. So you have a nice drive, but it ends with McKenzie. He drops the football. It's kind of a brutal situation. He's sandwiched, and it's a tough situation. His eyes, you definitely were on safety that was sitting there, but he drops the football. So then there's that 3rd and 5 when the Ravens get back, and Lamar throws the football, and it really looked like pass interference. He was there way early, but it wasn't called. And then the Bills get the football back, and I think it really started to feel, you could see the Ravens, they had all that energy on offense, but it really started to get sucked down at that point, and you could feel the Bills kind of making their move. Now, the Ravens got the ball back in the second half, and that was first. So that was going to be a very critical drive. And you guys end up stopping Ravens, and then you had that Singletary run, which was real nice, but it ends the drive. The drive doesn't go anywhere. You punt the football. It's still 20-10. And then Ravens are driving, and the 3rd and 8, Lamar is a tad off on that pass. He should have made that pass. That was a critical pass, not to nail it and make it perfect. So I think somebody was saying it was a drop. No way. That was all on Lamar. Then Allen opens up with that big Diggs pass, real sweet pass. Then McKenzie, unfortunately, another concussion, man. I mean, that was a huge first down. Huge first down, but then he got that hit. It really wasn't the Ravens defender's fault. That's a very tough situation for all involved. Unfortunately, McKenzie got the concussion. Then you get the sweet Allen run, a big Allen run, 20, and it ends up being 20-20. And then Ravens come back again, and they're kind of starting to drive, and then they get the deflection, and Poyer, that he came back is so huge, gets that big pick. And then Ravens end and Bills' next drive, they're starting to drive down, and then they get the big sack on Allen. I think it's his first of the year, which is crazy to think about. So this is like a heavyweight fight. You know, it opened up with the Bills on the ropes, and then the Bills fighting out of the corner, and then the Ravens now slugging it back, and it's going back and forth. This pendulum's moving, and I was really getting excited. And then the Ravens, they come out, they start running, and they get that big pass to Andrews. He was like quiet all day, except for that, pass interference for the most part. And that was a big, big play. And then there was the big pass interference after that. Now you're like, oh, man, Ravens are making a move. They're making that move. And then Jackson on a 3rd and 12. But they'd had penalties all day. They were getting sloppy, but they were in this 3rd and 12. And Jackson, man, just shows his electricity. And he makes Edmonds miss and picks up the first down. And then they get all the way down to the 1 or 2 yard line. And on 4th down, they decide to go for it. And I know it's the new thing. Analytics, the whatever. Go for it. But I've seen a lot of failure from this. I thought he should have just kicked the football, trusted in his defense. Because he's basically saying, I don't even trust my defense to even hold him to 3. And if you go back and you look, they drove down with only a few seconds left. So if they could have just kicked the field goal, kicked the ball off. I mean, yes, they had to go from that goal line. Well, they got the interception in the end zone by Poyer, so it was out on a 20. So yeah, it would have been the same thing. And they only had a few seconds before that touchdown. And they milked it at the end too. But you got to trust your defense to stop the touchdown and make this an overtime game. I really didn't like this call by Harbaugh. He did it against the Dolphins, too. Thought a little hyper-aggressive. A nice pick by Poyer. 2 picks on the day. Big-time stuff. Him and Milano. Milano had a huge day, man. Oh, you have 13 tackles, 11 solo, I believe, and 2 tackles for loss. And that nice trip up of Jackson at one point was a real nice play. He had a hot day today. Big, big, big day. So then you get the big Knox pass by Allen, which was unbelievable, over 2 defenders. And then you get the roughing call on Allen, and that was game over right there. As soon as that roughing pass call, and you notice too, even the announcer said he could have had the sack, but he hesitated for that split second, didn't get the sack, and got the penalty. And then they drive in down to whatever, nothing left, and kick the field goal and win it. And I thought the Bills, sometimes they get a little tight in these close games. And I thought this game they played with a lot of clutch, both from the coaching staff and from the players, especially the defense, They played really, really well. And obviously from Allen. I mean, he didn't have the greatest day, but that wasn't really a passing day. And so Ravens are a tough team. You know, these guys still got their injuries and all that old stuff. And if they could just add a few more pieces, Lamar looked really good. I just don't understand. I got to look into it why he has there's just long periods of lapses. And a little bit had to do with Allen just being a little bit off, Lamar being a little bit off. But they had the run game going. It was just, I don't know. But Bills earned themselves a big win, and they're right back on track. That loss last week was a tough one. So Bills now, they got a chance to resettle, maybe get some more bodies going into next week, and it looks great for them. So Bills fans, big day. I still think you really guys need to get this run game in a better place. I don't understand why I never see Gilliam in the backfield really run blocking, because you can line him up in the backfield and he's done damage as a receiver. And so it's not a big tell that, oh, I'm running now with him in the backfield. I'd like to see a little more Gilliam, especially on that one short run they had with Singletary and Bates. Man, he's really a little bit of a concern. But overall, very good day. So anyway, Bills fans, I hope you like this new little thing I got going here. If I get a thumbs up from you guys, I'm going to start doing it with my Dolphins. Anyway, Curtis saying, congratulations both to the Ravens fans and the Bills fans. You guys had one hell of a day, two very good teams, and I had a blast, so thank you. Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. See you soon. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aspirations.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.